Let's go ahead and find our comfortable seated position. Relaxing our eyes and taking our focus over to our breath. If you are able to control the temperature in the room, find a comfortable temperature. It's a little chilly here in Oregon today. On your next inhale, I want you to pull those shoulders back, lift your chin a little bit taller. Just open your chest here. And as you exhale, let's go ahead and reach those arms forward, keeping our bottom either on a blanket or on your mat, just making sure those hips don't come off the floor. Let's take those hands over to one side. And over to the other side. Bringing your hands back to center. Let's go ahead and walk our hands towards our body. I'm going to turn over to the side. You can stay facing me if you'd like. We're just going to extend those feet out in front of us. If you have a yoga strap or something in place of a yoga strap, go ahead and get that ready. Or if you want to just reach for those feet with your hands, we're just pedaling out through those feet here. Feeling that stretch through our calves. Of course, in your hamstrings and your back as well. Taking our focus to our calves for now. I want you to really try to exaggerate that movement. How far can you get those feet to pedal? Bringing those toes up towards your shin as far as you can go. Go ahead and just kind of go side to side in that flexed position. You can't see what I'm doing here. I'm just going in and out with that flexed foot position. Relaxing now, going into a reverse, pointing your toes, feeling that stretch through the front of your ankle, your tibialis anterior, or that muscle in the front on your shins. Again, rolling those toes side to side. If you're anything like me, this feels so good. If you've had a long run this weekend or just on your feet a lot, this probably feels pretty good. Go ahead and roll it up nicely. You can shake it out if you want to. We're going to place those hands behind us for support as we cross one foot over. Option to tuck that foot into our body. Crossing our arm over to look over that shoulder, sitting tall. Let's rotate our chest back to center, extending that bottom leg if it is not already, as we open up the inside of that front leg, or I'm sorry, that top leg. And let's slide that bottom foot flat to the floor into our figure four. The bigger you fold here, the more stretch through the glutes you'll get, as you can probably tell on your own. So you can slide that foot out a little bit if you need to modify. Let's go ahead and slide that foot out in front of us, shake it out. When you're ready, let's go ahead and cross over the other leg. Again, option to tuck that leg into your body, reaching that arm up and over for a twist. You can get that stretch through the upper back or your lats, pressing that elbow into your knee. Let's bring our chest back to center, extending that bottom leg, opening up the inside of our top foot so that we can cross for that figure four. Let's go ahead and extend that leg, uncross, shake it out if you need to. And we're gonna swing those feet behind us, shifting over for our tabletops position. Knees in line with our hips, wrists in line with our shoulders. You know the drill. Let's go ahead and begin that cat-cow. I'm gonna start with smaller movements here as I get warmed up. With the cooler air, it takes a little bit longer. So just be aware of that. If your body is cool, you might need that extra time to warm those muscles. As you get comfortable with the movement, you can start to make it a little bit bigger. Let's go ahead and relax that spine. We're going to step forward with that right foot, taking our hands away from the floor. If you want support for that back knee, if it's on a hard surface, you can put a blanket or a pillow under for support. With our hands on our hips, we're just going to tuck those hips under so you can feel it's relaxed. We're going to use our thumb to roll those hips under. You should feel that hip flexor or psoas muscle. Feel that stretch. If not, you can start to lean forward just a little bit. Placing one hand on either side of that front foot. Let's go ahead and extend that front leg, bringing those toes back up towards our spine. Sorry, our shin. Excuse me. I guess technically it's towards our spine too, right? Let's go ahead and shift that front foot flat to the floor, bringing both hands in before stepping back into that tabletops position. Let's take that left foot forward, taking our hands away from the floor. Feel free to use that blanket again if you'd like. Hands are placed on our hips, using our thumb to tuck that hip under. Superman position or superwoman position with your chest. So we don't want to be slouched here, sitting up tall. Take that deep breath. When you exhale, let's bring those hands to either side of that front foot, extending that front leg. Toes come up towards your shin. Fabulous job, everyone. Let's shift that weight forward. Hands come on the inside. Both knees release behind us. Let's go ahead and lower to the floor. Elbows stay close to our bodies. Pressing up into the cobra of your choice. Remember, get that head out of your turtle shell. So here my head is stuck in my turtle shell. Here I'm peeking out. Exhale back down to the floor, elbows tucked into your body. Pressing up through tabletops and sitting back into that child's pose. Using this as your time, your you time. A little tongue twister there. Inhale, let's shift our weight back into that tabletops position. If you can't tell already, this is kind of the runner's yoga. So for those of you runners, you might like this one. All right, left foot forward. This time we're going to tuck that toe under behind us and lift into that runner's lunge position. Take a peek at that heel behind you. Make sure that heel is not rotated in. Feel free to watch this next movement before you follow. It's a little tricky. So as we shift our weight onto that back foot, we're going to lift, extend, our heel releases to the floor. This foot lifts off the floor, lateral lunge. Lift back up. Remember that heel follows the knee movement back into the runner's lunge. I'm going to do that one more time if you want to follow. So we're going to lift up, put that heel on the floor, lifting that other leg. Lifting it back up, lift and rotate that heel back into that runner's lunge. Amazing job. Hands placed on the inside of that runner's lunge. Stepping back into plank, let's push our hips back for our downward dog. My shirt's a little bit looser today. It was chilly. I apologize. Let's take our gaze up towards our hands, hopping or stepping those feet forward. Slight bend through the knees as we roll into standing. Inhale, eyes follow your fingertips. Exhale, arms down to your sides. Inhale, arms follow your fingertips. This time we're going to hold those arms. I said arms follow your fingertips. I meant to say eyes. This time we're going to hold our arms by our ears. I can't talk today. Right foot balance. So I'm going to turn this way so you can see me to start, and then I'll turn back. Right foot balance, left foot can stay hitched on the floor or come off the floor. And we're going to kick back into our warrior 3 from here. So this is where I'm going to turn. So notice my arms stay glued to my ear, even if you're just kicked here. Maybe you twisted or lifted into that parallel position to the floor. Use your foot to grip to the floor. Use it to help balance. Squeeze your glutes. Pull that belly button in tight. 3, 2, 1. I want you to really squeeze and control as we lift back into standing. Placing that foot on the floor. Shake it out. Shake out those shoulders. Do a little shimmy. Arms lift up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Hands are placed on the floor, bending your knees if you need to hop or step back into that plank position. We're going to release down to the floor, so if you'd like to modify to those knees, feel free to do so. Remember, we want our body to stay in one straight line. Inhale, press up into the cobra of your choice. I almost want to rename this into the turtle now, just for our specific class, you know? Exhale, release back down to the floor. Pressing up through tabletops. Let's sit back into child's pose. This is your you time. Whether you're using this time to breathe, maybe you're walking your hands side to side, just listening to your body. What does your body need at this moment? I'm going to share my gratitude for this class. 1, if we didn't have this class, I probably would never convince myself to stretch. 2, knowing that it's the same group of people or same yoga community we have on site makes me feel a lot more comfortable and confident with you all. So thank you for joining us. Let's shift back into that tabletops position. I appreciate you all, is what I'm trying to say. All right, this time my back's going to be faced towards you, but we're going to take that right foot forward, tucking that back toe under behind us and lifting into that runner's lunge. Like I said, my back's going to be facing you this time. Take a peek at that heel behind you. Make sure it's not rotated in. When you're ready, we're going to lift, rotate that heel flat to the floor, sit into that lateral lunge. Lift and rotate back into that runner's lunge. We have that one more time. Go ahead and follow if you have not already. Lift, sit back onto that right foot. Lift, runner's lunge. Hands are placed on the inside of that front leg, stepping back into plank. Let's push our hips back for that downward dog. Make adjustments as needed. Bringing those eyes up towards your hands, hopping or stepping your feet forward. Slight bend through the knees as we roll into standing. Heads always last to come up. Inhale, big breath overhead. Exhale, arms to your sides. All right, we're going to do that warrior 3 on our left leg this time. So remember, we're going to start with that hitch. Arms are glued to our ears. So we don't want that knee to be completely locked out. Slight bend. You'll notice you're able to grip the floor a little bit easier. Your core, your glutes are engaged. A little off my game today, just a little bit. All right, when you're ready, let's go ahead and kick back. Remember, your spine, everything follows the movement of your leg. So if your leg's up here and your arms are up here, that's going to break your back. So if your leg lifts, Your spine will follow. It's not going to break your back. Don't get too scared, but it will pinch your back a little bit. Slowly lifting yourself back up. Place that foot on the floor, shake it out, do your shimmy. So when I say feet in line with your hips, us ladies, we might be a little bit wider than we should be. I mean your bone structure hips. So go ahead and make that adjustment as needed. Not just ladies, all of us, just make that adjustment where your bone structure, your hips are. Taking that deep breath in, swan dive, forward fold. We're going to hold this one for a few breaths here. So get nice and comfortable. When you are ready, let's place those hands on the floor, bending your knees if you need to. Hopping or stepping back into plank position. We're going back down to the floor one more time. Body stays in one straight line, pressing up into our turtle. See what I did there? Exhale back down to the floor, pressing up through tabletops and back into that child's pose. I'm getting a little playful with you all today. When you're ready, let's bring those hands below your shoulders. Use them to press yourself up. We're going to work a little bit more on the glutes here. So let's swing those feet behind us, in front of us. Do as I say, not as, or do as I do, not as I say. Releasing down to the floor. All right, this one's going to be a little bit different, something new that we haven't done this one before. So we're going to do a butterfly bridge. So what we're going to do is open up the inside of our feet, bring the insides of our feet together, insides of your thighs and knees open. The further out you go, the more comfort you might feel on that lower back if you are feeling a little too much pressure here. From this position, we're going to raise those hips off the floor and go into a glute bridge and release. Nice and slow and controlled here. Squeeze as you lift. Relax as you lower. Let's do a few more. All right, last one. Lift, hold, squeeze. Slowly drop those hips back down to the floor. Bring your feet flat. Knees come into your chest, into your tight ball. Rolling your lower back onto your mat. Thanks for putting up with all my stuttering today. You all are troopers. All right, one knee stays tucked into our chest, other leg extends out in front of us. Option to extend that leg. You know the drill, whether it's from your thigh, your calf, or your ankle. Shoulders and hips stay on the floor here. Remember that feedback is important to me. If you have any feedback for class, feel free to email me. Let me know. I always want to improve as an instructor to make your experience better. You have the option to keep that leg extended, or you can bend that knee before opening that leg out to the side. Remember, our hips are not coming off the floor here. Bringing our leg back to center. Let's tuck that knee into our chest. Slide our opposite foot, tuck it into our tight ball, and roll out our lower back. Getting ready for that same sequence on the other side, starting with our knee tucked into our chest with the option to extend that leg. Feel free to open that leg out to the side with that leg bent or extended. Bringing our leg back to center. Tucking that knee into our chest. Placing that foot on the floor and extending that foot. Both feet out in front of you. I want you to place your hands on your belly today. Feel those shoulders pull away from your ears. And as you breathe, I want you to feel that belly rise as you inhale and collapse as you exhale. And each time you exhale, I want you to take any movement, sorry if you hear the siren, any movement outside of your belly and relax that movement. So if there's movement in your shoulders as you inhale, maybe you start to tighten up your hips. Let's keep all of that movement in our belly and our chest. Take any tension out of your jaw, your forehead. with your eyes relaxed. Go ahead and start to just wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rocking your head from side to side. Bringing your head back to center before sliding those feet flat to the floor. Just rocking those knees side to side. Eventually rolling over to one side. And taking a few moments to open your eyes. Let's go ahead and slowly press ourselves back into our comfortable seated position. Finishing with some neck rotations today. So we're going to shake our head no. See how far you can get that chin over your shoulder. If you'd like to add some neck rotations, feel free to add some in there. Bringing our head back to center. Big inhale. Arms come overhead. Exhale, hands come to prayer. To heart. Namaste. Have a wonderful rest of your day, everyone. Don't forget to send me feedback if you have any. And I'll see you all on Wednesday.